Hello, everyone. This is virtually Carrie, and today we're live for another VANA Live event. So, for today's VANA Live, we will be joined by Mr. Adrian Pantonial. So, Adrian is actually our host last year for Freedom Summit. So that's how I personally met Adrian, and we've connected because he's also doing English lessons, and I personally invited him to join and become Vanna's trainer. So as I discussed in my page, we are doing a free English course in life hacks to ace your job interview. So, more about Adrian. He is a licensed professional teacher, certified IELTS and TESOL English trainer. And he's also a host. And di ba may acting gig ka din, Adrian?
That's right.
Oh, ito on YouTube. So, today, Adrian will talk about being a global Pinoy, learning how to speak English well, and earning more. So this is very helpful, and it will also give you a preview of what you can learn from Adrian once he starts our free English lesson. So Adrian, I'll give you the stage.
Okay. Thanks a lot for that wonderful introduction, Carrie. And I'm now going to share my screen. 1 second. There you go. All right. So, how are you guys? It's been raining the past few days because of Typhoon Umbo. This is our VANA Live today. Be a global Pinoy, learn how to speak English well and earn more. And this is Adrian Pantonial, a licensed professional teacher, certified IELTS and TESOL English trainer. Medyo mabigat yung topic natin ano, kasi pag sinabi mong global Pinoy, world-class yung quality. But it's actually achievable. It's not impossible, but it's actually realizable. So just fast facts about the wonders of English and how it affects people around the globe. 840 million people speak English worldwide. Over 80% of the information stored on computers worldwide is in English. So just imagine if you don't know how to speak English, it will be very hard for you to take advantage of this 80% of information online. English is the official language of 67 countries, and English is the official that's the same. Sorry for that typo error. English is the second most spoken language globally after Mandarin. Japan is also opening, Japan and China, those two countries are now opening their doors for English teachers. That's why it's helping them improve their economy as well because of the influx of English teachers. And of course, because English is the global business language. These are the 7 benefits of being fluent in English. Number one, personal growth, and that's been my mantra ever since. You will also earn respect from people, especially sa bansa natin. We're so high on shame and very little in terms of appreciation. What I mean by that is sobrang dami ng opportunity na mapapahiya ka kasi that's why we also have the word walang hiya, di ba? Because that's yun yung parang pinaka matinding insulto na maibibigay sa'yo. And malaking bagay sa atin yung respeto. That's why even if some of us don't finish college, parang mas gusto natin yung office job kasi parang we have respect for that. Although meron tayong po and opo sa ating lingwahe, but still we crave for this respect. And also helps you in your career growth. And it helps you get connected to people across the globe, especially in this online community called the internet. Also helps you to become healthier and good looking. What I mean by that, let me explain, okay? So syempre, pag may bibiling kayong produkto, no, tapos titingnan nyo, karamihan ng mga pakete at ng mga label ay nasa English. So just imagine kung gagamitin niyo yung gamot napapaganda or pampapogi, tapos mali pala yung pagkakaintindi nyo dahil hindi nyo naintindihan ng maayos yung label or yung instructions niya, di ba? So that's what I mean by this line. Also helps you become more financially literate. What I mean by this is that you get access to information na makakatulong sa iyong paglagong pinansyal dahil karamihan ng mga libro at ng mga articles about financial literacy ay nasa English. Even yung pag-aaral lang ng stocks, yung mga foreign exchange, ganyan, Bitcoin, most of them are in English, di ba? Medyo very rare yung mga information and articles na nakatagalog. Also expands your business opportunities. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Siyempre, karamihan ng mga investors ay mga foreigners or mga nakapag-aral. So, some people are very discriminating na if you don't speak English well, it might be hard for them to actually trust you. There. This was my story. I was poor. I came from a really poor family. And before I felt like I'm ugly, I was also so bayat. I was so skinny. And I didn't have any self-confidence. This was my story. Alala ko, when I was a kid, um, may mga times na yung ginisang bagoong na merong sili at merong asukal ay tumatagal sa amin ng isang linggo, 5 days, ganyan. Sometimes pag walang bagoong, kahit na toyo, mantika at asin, okay na yan, talo-talo na yan. But that didn't stop me from actually learning English. Part of my story was actually published in Kerygma in their July 2018 edition in the printed copy of Kerygma. Ang title niya is College Graduate After 17 Years. Regain Your Health, yung pinaka cover title ng magazine. And that was in their It Happened segment. After 17 years of being a breadwinner, I finally graduated from college while having 5 jobs at the same time, with English as my primary means of communication. Paano ba nagsimula yung journey ko sa English? So, I was in grade 2. Nagkaroon ako ng second honorable mention when I was in elementary. And I remember, because we were so poor, my father gave me a gift on stage para sabihin ng teacher namin na importante at mamahalin yung regalo. Ang ginawa ng tatay ko, nilagyan niya ng mga pareto ng sabon. Tapos nilagyan niya meron kasi siyang mga pyesa ng mga relo kasi watch technician ng tatay ko dati. Nilagyan niya nun para pampabigat. Tapos, pero bukod dun sa regalo na yon na malaki at mabigat, ay meron siyang totoong regalo sa akin, which is para siyang Voltron na robot na plastic. Yan. So, while my teacher was giving me the gift, obvious na mabigat yun. At nakita nga sa picture na parang nabibigatan ako. Kasi I remember that picture. But after that awarding ceremony sa stage, pag uwi ko ng bahay, I think nakita yata kami ng isang kapitbahay who's a recruiter for Sulo ng Sonta MSJ, Mandaluyong, San Juan. I grew up in an informal settlers community, squatters area ang tawag nila doon, malapit sa Green Hills. Now, yung mga kamag-anak ko doon, na-award na yung lupa sa kanila. So, they're now paying for it. And they now own the land. But while growing up there in that community, during Christmas time, nangangatok kami sa mga malalaking bahay sa Green Hills para mag-Merry Christmas. Tapos natutunan ko rin sa mga kabarkada ko dati, nung bata pa ako, to beg for food sa bintana ng Jollibee dyan sa Green Hills din. Hindi ko alam kasi dati, nung bata pa ako, na masama pala yun. So right now, what I do naman, since now I have the opportunity to give back, is I don't give money to street children. I give them food pagka meron ako. Ganyan. So, anong nangyari, nung nakita kami ng kapitbahay na yun, she asked my mother kung pwede ko mag-exam to go through this recruitment process kasi they're looking for children to be sponsored para magkaroon ng financial sponsor for their studies. And eventually, I got accepted in that scholarship program through Sulunang Sonta MSJ Mandaluyong Sanuan, and it's through this international organization called Christian Children's Foundation. And I became a sponsored child from elementary until second year high school. Tapos, ang nangyari ay I was writing letters to my sponsor on a monthly basis. And of course, that letter is in English because my sponsor was American. And naalala ko dati, he was learning how to become a pilot. And he would send me pictures. He would send me stamp collections. Ganyan. So doon nahon yung English communication skills ko kasi every month talaga nagsusulat. Tapos doon din nagsimula yung interest ko na nagsimula yung passion ko for the English subject sa eskwelahan, ganyan. So every now and then I would join competitions, spelling bee, quiz bee, ganyan, essay writing contest, and I would win sa mga contest na yun because of this exposure nga. So that's part of my story. And then itong 17 years na to, ang nangyari kasi dyan, um, I'm the firstborn of a family of five. And when my father died in 97 and my mother died in 2013, after all of my siblings have their own families already, I still have that burning desire to go back to college. And I waited for 17 years working for different companies while still wanting to get out of the call center industry because I was in the call center industry for about 12 years. And I felt like I'm stuck because I didn't have that college education. I only finished a 3 year course back then. The agreement of my father and my late father and my aunt is that I will finish a 3 year course so that I will be able to help my siblings finish their college degrees too. So after that's happened, because I still want to um, go back to school, I pursued my college education and I finished a degree in business administration, major in marketing management. And I'll tell you more about the stories of the way I earn income later on as we go through this presentation. But that's my story. And now I feel better about myself, not with pride, but with humility, thankful for what God has given me and how many people have helped me in my process of learning and has helped me grow uh, more wiser. And this is my way of paying it forward naman to other people who are aspiring to learn the language because it will open up so many wonderful opportunities for you for sure. So now let's go to my three keys to success. If I will summarize my life, I would give you these three things. Get rid of victim mentality. What I mean by this is that sometimes we would blame people, our parents or other people because nahirap lang tayo or parang the way we are right now, parang isip natin dahil sa kanya, sinaktan niya ako or something like that, mga ganyan. We cannot succeed in life if we remain in that kind of mentality. We cannot continue blaming people and expect for something to change. The change has to start from within us. And in order for us to become victors and no longer victims, we have to learn how to be able to move on and to pursue the path that's really meant for us. Whatever has happened has already happened. What we can just change is what we are and where we are right now. So get rid of victim mentality is number one. And number two is pursue lifelong learning and personal growth. Ito yung talagang sobra-sobrang tumatak sa akin. Lifelong learning and personal growth. And these two things will actually enable you to live a life of legacy. What that means is that while you're pursuing lifelong learning and personal growth, in the process, you are also helping other people and impacting lives meaningfully because of this process of lifelong learning and personal growth. And number three is pay the price for success. What I mean by this is there was a time in my life when pagpapasok ako national bookstore or book sale, hindi ako makakalabas ng wala akong dalang libro. Sobrang, sabihin natin, I became addicted to books. but they have a better term for that, bibliophile. Bibliophile is a person who is passionate in reading books. So I have so many books in the past. Dumating siya sa point na because I was just a minimum wage earner nung time na yun, and naalala ko nung time na ah ah, nagkasakit nagkasakit yung tatay ko bago siya mamatay. I had to sell most of my books, and I had to bring them to Recto and sell those books at really cheap, much cheaper price than I bought them para lang mabili siya at makabili kami ng pagkain sa bahay. So ibig sabihin nun is that even though minimum wage earner ako, I was investing to buy books, and I've been attending seminars, connecting to people. That's where you also get to meet other professionals that will open up opportunities for you, connections. Ganyan. So be willing to pay the price for success. Kailangan meron ding investment, kailangan meron ding money, because research say that if you do not pay for something, it will be very least likely that you will value that thing. Kaya dapat hindi puro libre lang. Dapat matuto tayong magbayad sa presyo ng tagumpay sa ating buhay. There. So these are my income generating sources right now. I've been hosting since the year 2000, and my commitment to my clients is world class events hosting. And I'm also teaching Tagalog to foreigners in the Philippines. Most of them are based in the Philippines, but I also have other learners who are based outside the country. And my current involvement is through the English blog, a blog of English teachers by English teachers for English teachers. Please visit and subscribe to our website, theenglishblog.com, or you can also check out our Facebook page, uh, blog for English teachers, or just type in the English blog and you will see it. So there, these are my three sideline jobs that resulted from my being fluent in English. Let me just check if you guys have any questions so far, or if there are any comments here. Okay, none so far. So I'll just proceed with my presentation. Second, let's continue. So these are 10 surefire ways to enhance your English. And I've captured this from an article that I wrote, I think around 6 years ago. Number one is read something English 30 minutes a day. What I mean by read something English is that it could be an article online, it could be newspaper, it could be a book, it could be a magazine. But make sure that when you read something, this something is related to your hobbies or interests. So, for example, if you're into sports, then read something that's related to sports, to basketball, to tennis, or what have you. If your hobby is in cooking, then go ahead and read English recipes. It has to be really related to your hobbies and interests so that you won't be bored. And do it at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. And for sure, it will help you build vocabulary as you read them. You can also read them aloud and record yourself. And you will observe how you change in the process of this thing. Next is watch English videos. So this is how I do it. Right now, I'm subscribed to so many YouTube channels dahil wala namang bayad. You can subscribe to YouTube channels like my favorites right now, Jay Shetty. I like Lewis House, LEWISHOWES. You can also subscribe to YouTube channels that are related to your hobbies and interests, as mentioned earlier. And whenever I watch movies, I would turn on the subtitles if it has, so that I will see how they pronounce the words. And then if I don't know the words, I will look it up on Google to check the meaning and how it's pronounced again. Because of course, when you're watching a movie, they speak fast, right? So there, watch English videos, whether that's a movie or a TV series. And I was watching Unforgettable by Sarah Geronimo the other day, And I noticed that Netflix actually has an English subtitle. So what you can do is also read the English translations. That way, you're able to do two things at the same time. You're getting entertained at the same time, you're also learning. Number three, listen to English radio programs and podcasts. What I remember by this is that I would often listen to RX Monster Radio during the time na magkasama pa si Chico at si Delamar sa kanilang morning rush. So I would always listen to that every day sa radyo. Now I'm listening to podcasts, and every day during my lunchtime, I would listen to at least four podcasts. One is Our Daily Bread. Uh, Second is Max Locado. Number three is I'm also listening to Daily Stoic, and I'm listening to Savvy Psychology. So yung Savvy Psychology and Daily Stoic and Our Daily Bread, I listen to them through Spotify. Wala namang bayad yun. So you can do that every single day. And for Max Lucado, I go to the website and go to the audio resources to listen to it. That way, I'm learning new ways how to say things, how to say things properly, and how to mix and match words together. Number four, imitate native English speakers. Observe how they pronounce the words, where the stress is in terms of sentences. Also, listen to the music, like the rhythm, the speed. Um, Sometimes you have to exaggerate. That's what I learned when I was applying in the call center before. I remember I failed several times in interviews too while applying for a call center job because I was afraid to exaggerate. And one of the tips that I got from an interviewer is sometimes you really do have to exaggerate. And nakakaya lang para sa ating mga Pinoy kasi sometimes we would, again, nandudulo naman yung hiya, ano? It's like what I said earlier. We're so high on shame and very low on appreciation. Parang nadjajahe tayo pag nag-exaggerate tayo kasi sasabihin ng ibang tao, maarte or something like that. But sometimes you really do have to exaggerate. Imitate native English speakers. What I mean by native English speakers are Americans, Australians, Canadians, those who were born in the Western countries, um, which first language is English. Five, learn to unlearn. Napaka-importante nito. So there are three types of learning. Learning something new and unlearning something old. And then also, we also have that relearning, the things that we have to learn again and again because nobody graduates from the basics. What I mean by learning to unlearn is that sometimes we were taught wrong pronunciations or wrong meaning of things. Now that we're all adults and able to learn on our own, we have to learn to unlearn the wrong pronunciation that our English teachers in elementary or high school have taught us. Dapat matuto tayo na iwanan na yung mga nakagawian nating maling pagsasalita, wrong choice of words, the Philippinisms, ganyan. Um, what I mean by Philippinism is, for example, the word na in Tagalog can sometimes be translated as already and sometimes can be translated as now in English. So ang tendency sa atin is that we put already in the wrong places most of the time because it's a, it's an example of Philippinism. Nasanay na kasi tayo eh. Kaya we have to be careful then. We need to learn how to unlearn. Number six is record your voice and listen to yourself. This is a fun part. So I still do this until now. Believe it or not, I'm still learning until now. Um, I don't think I will ever come to a point in my life where I will say that I've arrived. It will be a lifelong process of learning for me. And I'm still recording my voice and I'm still listening to myself and I would correct myself. And it's fun kasi tatawanan mo yung sarili mo eh pag narinig mo yung sarili mong boses. Most people who have not yet done this, nako, sobrang hagalpak talaga kayo pag narinig niyo yung boses niyo. Because you would say, oh, ganito pala yung tunog ng boses ko. What this does is that it helps you see yourself objectively, or rather hear yourself objectively, because you will hear kung saan mali yung pronunciation mo, kung saan dapat yung stress, ganyan, the way you say things, ganyan. So try and do this. Record your voice and listen to yourself. 7, write an English journal or blog. I started writing journals in English when I was in high school. Uh, matagal na panahon na yun. Because now I'm 41, so that's like around 2 decades or more than 2 decades ago. I also started blogging through Friendster. Para sa mga nanonood nito na nakaka-relate, hello, mga batang 80s. And then after Friendster, Multiply, ganyan. Nakakatuwa siya because it's not only, writing is not only therapeutic, but it also helps you improve your grammar skills and your choice of words because you have the time to actually think through your thoughts before you type them and before you save and before you hit publish in your blog, for example. But as you go back, it will also help you to see na ganun ka pala magsulat at ganun ka pala magsalita sa panuna. So do this. Write an English journal every single day, or if you want, if you're courageous enough, have your own blog. And then send it to me. I want to read it as well. 8, study as you do your daily routines. What I mean by this is, until now I still do this. For example, I'm traveling and I'm just looking at posters. Ganyan. Every now and then I would see words sa billboards or sa mga street signs na bago sa akin. I would Google it. I will look up the meaning of that word. And then I will also listen to how it's pronounced through Google. Sometimes, pagka naghihintay ako, for example, sa isang legal document from a government office at nagkataon na may TV doon, tapos narinig ko, and then nakarinig ako ng something English na hindi ko alam. Yun, I take note of that and I go online on Google on my smartphone and I find out how it's pronounced and what it means. Make this a daily habit to study as you do your daily routines. Number 9, think English, speak English. Karamihan kasi sa ating mga Pinoy, nagtatranslate tayo sa isip natin eh. That is why bumabagal yung pagsasalita natin. That's why we're also stuttering. That's why nabablanko din tayo minsan because nagtatranslate pa tayo. But of course, before you get to this point na you're now able to think English and speak English, you have to build your vocabulary first. What I mean by this is, for example, kahit nasa bahay lang ako, oh, I need to brush my teeth, I need to pick up water from the water station, I need to bring my laundry to the shop, something like that. So you're just thinking, but you're thinking in English. And it helps you become familiar, helps you to get used to how you're using it so that that sense of shame within yourself is vanished because you exert more effort to make it as natural as possible, to normalize this second language that we have in our country. And finally, practice makes permanent. Practice it every single day. I remember I was in high school and I was talking to my cousin. This was in that community where I used to live in West Grave, and we were just talking in English. Just fun way of teasing each other, but we were talking to each other in English, even if our English is broken. That time, it's still fun. You practice it with either with someone who's of the same level as you are, or you can also practice it with a native English speaker or someone who's in a different level who you think is much better than you. But the most important part is that practice, because practice makes permanent. We can never be perfect because it's not our mother tongue for some of us, being born and raised in the Philippines, but it will make it permanent for all of us. So, these are the 10 surefire ways to enhance your English skills. Read something English 30 minutes a day, watch English videos, listen to English radio programs and podcasts, imitate native English speakers, learn to unlearn, record your voice and listen to yourself, write an English journal or blog, study as you do your daily routines, think English, speak English, and finally, practice makes permanent. So there you have it, the 10 surefire ways to enhance your English skills. And if you want more information, more of my writings, visit my website, adrianpantonial.com. That's my full name, www.adrianpantonial.com. There. And I just want to share with you this quote from the book that I'm currently reading. I'm still reading books every day right now. This is by Tony Robbins, and he says, the most powerful investment you can make is to invest in yourself. And again, that goes back to my mantra of lifelong learning and personal growth. Go invest in yourself. Do yourself that favor. And in line with this, we'd like to inform you that there's actually a free online training, this English course and life hacks to pass online job interviews, brought to you by Virtually Carry and VANA. And in this free online training, which is set to starting this Monday until Friday next week, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, I will be facilitating this free online training for 2 hours each day. And in this webinar, free online training, you will learn how to conquer your fears and boost your confidence, how to level up your English grammar and pronunciation skills, and know the do's and don'ts of job interviews and get hired, plus more. Because I've prepared a really wonderful program for you guys. And just imagine, this comes for free. Walang bayad ito. Right now, na hindi kayo makakalabas to attend TESDA scholarship trainings for call center and related to English, make the most of your time by enrolling in this free online training. And this is only limited to 10 scholars. Again, 10 scholars. This will be done 2 hour Zoom sessions Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Go check out the Facebook group of VANA and you will see more details how to enroll if you haven't done so yet. And this is brought to you by Virtually Carry and English Teacher Pro. Do check out my Facebook page, English Teacher Pro, like it, and you will see more tips about learning how to speak English there. So there. Now, do you guys have any questions? Any questions at all?
All
Do you
right.
have any
Thank you.
questions?
And that is I really learned a lot from what you shared. Actually, some of the tips that you shared, I even did it when I was starting out, especially imitating native English speakers. I tried to imitate Kim Kardashian.
So that's the way you speak.
That's why I have an art accent, they say. But yeah, and also just one of the things I wanted to point out, learn to unlearn. Like right
Right.
now, I'm also learning a new language. I'm learning German. A lot of the rules in the English language doesn't apply to the German language. So I think it is really important that you try to unlearn some of the things that you're used to. And again, I want to invite everyone to join our English course that will be starting on Monday. The reason why I actually decided to have this free course is because we have a lot of job openings right now. And if I may share, like we had an interview last night with one of our clients. It's a big BPO company. Only 50% passed. The rest was rejected, even though they had the experience, they had the availability, they had the equipment. They were rejected because of the soft skills. So, just think about it, right? Ang daming opportunities na pwedeng mawala sa'yo because you're not um that good,
Yeah.
or actually not that good, but you don't have the time to invest in learning new skills. I think
Right.
that's what it really boils down to.
Mm. I
Oh,
was just looking at the Facebook Live of Virtually Carry, and I saw that there's a question there. Any English books you recommend? My answer to this, it depends on the type of books that you really want to read. Some people can say don't read it. That's why I would recommend watching English videos. Ako kasi I'm more into non-fiction, so I usually read books by John Maxwell on leadership. Right now, I'm a big fan of Brene Brown about vulnerability and self-help. Uh, yeah, so it really depends on the type of topics that you want to read.
mm,
Dapat related sa hobbies and interests mo yung babasahin mo. And that should be in English so that um, it will be value adding to you. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. And it doesn't really need to be a complicated book. Before, I used to read a lot of Harry Potters, and when I was starting out, and may Sweet Valley High, di ba yan yung mga
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
I
So
know that.
it's very simple English. It's easy to comprehend. And you know what? In real life, no one really uses the flowery, yung mga words na
That's
masyadong
true.
malalalim. If you go to
Yeah.
the US, when I was in California, their English was very simple. They
Right.
use simple words. As long as you're able to speak and understand and have that clear accent, I think you will, you'll be able to survive. So we
That's
have
right.
another question.
Oh, how to join the free training? I think you're the best person to answer that, Carrie. How can they join this free training from
Yes.
Lori?
So actually we have to draw the 10 scholars tomorrow. So this will be random. Just check out the post I shared in Virtually Carry and share that post and let us know learn um why you want to learn English and why you want to join the free course. So this is only free for 10 scholars this batch. But let's see if everything goes well and we see that there is a demand and we can um subsidize
Right.
subsidize Adrian's talent fee. We will do another batch, right?
Right. Yes. I'm more than willing to do that for you, Carrie, for you and your wonderful team. When are we going to do our video key session?
Yeah. I really miss video okay. Because I'm here in Germany wala masyadong,
Oh,
wala
okay.
masyadong mga video key bars. So sabi ko
Right.
online video okay na lang tayo. Hello.
Okay.
All right. If we don't have any other questions, I think it's almost time.
Right.
um, we can wrap this up. But you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Adrian or me directly. You can also post your questions in the group. Hi,
Yeah.
Christy. Hi, Man. Hi to everyone who's watching us. And I hope you learned valuable lessons because I did. So thank you very much, Adrian, and
You're
hope
welcome, Carrie.
you
Thank you.
see you on Monday.
Yes. Bye, guys. Have a safe
Bye.
and healthy evening for everyone. Bye.